On today's Glory Day show, the baseball extravaganza is in full swing as we will have reports from not one, not two, but three different Major League cities today.
And we'll take a look at three of baseball's once most proudest franchises that have been kind of underachieving lately as we look at Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Atlanta.
Mark Hogan will join us to talk about the Reds, Bill Chandler to talk about the Braves, and then Mark Hogan to talk about the Pirates. Isn't that the same guy twice?
No, it's a tremendous coincidence.
Really? Same first and last name.
The best hour of Sports Week is coming up on Glory Days right now.
Inravio.com.
Hello, everybody. Today is Saturday, March 18th, 2017, and you're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani, and this is my good friend, Bruce Oler. Anthony Mazzallo and the hero of the day, Bonnie Schultz, are behind the glass, and you are joining us on the Inravio TV network, where we stream live from Studio C right here in the great state of New York. So our producer, Bonnie Schultz, saved hundreds of lives today.
Yeah?
What
happened?
There was a gas leak on her block.
Ooh.
And she had to evacuate everyone. You know, like Steve Martin and the little dog in...
Yep.
No, but really, she had to go out there, and she knocked on doors and dragged people out of their houses in their underwear.
What time was this?
This morning. That's
Early?
why we're a few minutes late this morning.
Okay. Wow. Very nice, Bonnie. Thank
So
you
how
for
are
your
you?
service. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing okay. You know, it's the day after St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And
Did you wear green yesterday?
I did.
Did you?
I used to not wear green
Yeah.
on purpose, but now I wear green.
Okay.
But we couldn't wear green today because the owners of this station hate the Irish. What other reason could it be?
I'm not sure of that.
They've told us from the beginning of time to never wear green.
Yeah, well.
And I have no idea why. Anyway, did you wear green?
I did not. The only thing I have with green is I have a lot of Jet stuff, but you can't wear a Jet sweatshirt to the office. You know, we are a casual dress place, but it's not quite casual.
Then again, you wouldn't know if you were wearing green.
Well, I am colorblind, that's right. But I would say there were hardly any people that were wearing green yesterday.
Well, they were all out on the street getting drunk.
I know. I think they could have been. I'll tell you, I was coming back from Jersey, and I saw a lot of fire trucks, they had the alarms going, the sirens going and stuff like that. I think they were coming home from the parade, though, because I saw many of them.
Did you ever go to the parade?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a big St. Patrick's Day fan for whatever reason.
We always used to think it was for the amateurs.
That's right, exactly right. But there are a lot of professional drinkers out there too that are Irish, for sure.
I know our pal the Sav, who commuted every day for 20 years on Long Island Railroad, used to say it was his most hated day on the train on the way home.
Yeah,
all those
drunk people that are
mostly
they're sloppy.
15-year-olds.
They were sloppy drunk. Yep. I'll tell you, I know we're going to talk about baseball, but I'm really feeling frustrated with the Islanders right now, man. They went in, this is the wrong time for them to go into a funk, and you see who they're playing now?
Yeah.
They have 4 killer games in a row. I don't even know what the rest of the schedule is like, but they did not do themselves any favors by losing 2 out of 3 games to inferior opponents this week.
Yeah, and not only losing them, but they didn't look good in them at all.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking that why aren't they bringing Halak back as a backup?
Good question.
Is it that he doesn't want to be a backup?
I don't know. I don't know, but I mean, that's part of their problem is their goaltending right now. You know, there's no doubt about that. I mean, Doug Waite, though, he did say, and I guess it's true because he is the coach, he said, we look like a team that's practiced twice in the last 21 days or something is what he said.
You know what? You're right, because they don't have any time to practice.
Yeah, I mean, they've been on the road. They haven't been practicing.
You know,
he goes, and if you look at it, goes, we're just a little bit off, is what he said, you know?
Yeah, but they got to get that stuff straightened out.
That's right, and you know, they probably practiced yesterday for a little while, but I mean, they lost Thursday night. Now they're back. They're playing this afternoon. They're playing at 1 o'clock against Columbus Blue Jackets, who are a very good team. We'll talk to Mark Hogan. I know he went to a Blue Jacket game pretty recently.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they are a good team. And then so they play Columbus Blue Jackets today, this afternoon. Mm-hmm. Then they're off until Wednesday.
Ooh.
And you know who they play Wednesday?
Who, the Rangers?
The Rangers. Now, the good news about this is they're playing the Rangers at Madison Square Garden, which the Rangers have been mediocre at best at home. I think they've lost like 5 of their last 6 games.
I think we actually do well against them at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. I mean, the Rangers are an awesome road team.
Look, he's not smiling anymore.
I think they're 25-9 on the road, but something more like a 500 team at home. And then...
Are we going to make a bet, by the way, for the Islander Ranger game? Or with our producer here, Anthony
I'll make
Mazzala?
a bet with you guys.
All right. What's the bet?
Can I make it interesting?
Oh, what's your idea of interesting?
I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that out there. See what you came up with.
All right, tell you what. For next week, whoever wins the game, you bring a little graphic and put it up on the screen right next to the Inravio thing for the whole show. How's that?
I'll see what I can do with that. I like it.
Either that or you have to come in with no pants on.
That's
Why?
not doing anybody any favors.
Well, we don't wear pants.
That's true.
You know, I hate making bets because I usually lose them. Although the last time I made a bet with our friend Jimmy Ludwig, the plumber, with the Yankees and the Mets, okay? The bet was that if the Mets win more games than the Yankees, okay, he had to change his Facebook picture to a Met symbol for the entire offseason.
Okay.
Okay. Which... when we did win, I reduced it just to the postseason, just to the end of the World Series. But at any rate, if I had lost, we were going to have him come in on the air, and I was going to kiss his butt on the air.
Yeah, this guy, I don't know. Yeah, I know. I wasn't
Actually,
looking forward to that one either.
If you could think of your most
Plus, I think about
stereotypical plumber,
yeah, I was going to say.
that's Jimmy Ludwig.
I was going to say, the plumber part, is already problematic for me.
There's cracks everywhere. Yeah. I did want to, I know we're going to be going to break, but I wanted to ask a quick thing. I watched some of the World Baseball Classic last week.
You know, I watched one a Sunday night. Did you see that game?
I didn't see the Sunday night game. Sunday, I don't know, it was the Sunday or the Saturday?
No, Sunday afternoon. It wound up being an extra inning game. Did you see what happened in the extra inning game? What they do?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to talk about?
That's what I wanted to talk about.
All right, we're in sync here, man.
All right, so they wait to the 11th inning.
Yep.
And they put runners on first and second.
Right. And now the first thing about that, though, is that basically it's the next 2 batters that were scheduled to be up. They go to second and first.
The last 2 batters.
No, the next 2 batters that were due up. It's like they're starting with the 3rd batter. The first 2 batters get on base.
No. It was the guy who made the last out.
Yeah.
And then the guy who batted previously before him.
I thought it was the next 2 guys that were up.
What I thought was interesting was one of the things we were talking about was that it's not fair to the relief pitcher.
Yeah.
But those 2 runs, if they score, are not considered earned runs. So they don't go against the pitcher's record.
Big deal.
Right? And I got to tell you, I wanted to hate it.
Yeah.
I really did. I wanted to hate it. I wanted to say, oh my God.
You watched that game on Sunday, though, where the first thing the guy did is they bunted.
Right.
They had second and third, and next thing they had 5 runs in, man, just like that.
So
I didn't watch the bottom
I don't
of the
think
inning.
it was
so what
bad.
happened in the bottom of the inning? Did they score any runs?
No, they didn't score. So you know what? I didn't think it was that bad. I really wanted to hate it.
Yeah.
I went.
I
was
asking
really
Jimmy
rooting
Baseball
for
about
it.
that. I was talking to him about that, and he said that in some of the tournaments he plays in, the guy gets to second base. It's not first and second.
Well, that's what Major League Baseball was talking about
Okay.
doing. Just putting a runner on second, not also a runner on first.
Yeah.
Because theoretically, you put a runner on second, they're going to intentionally walk the first guy anyway.
You think so?
I would.
Yeah. And then you get that whole thing about intentional walk. You know, do you just let the guy go to first base?
Well, you know what's weird? In the WBC,
Yeah.
they don't do that. You
Yeah.
have to throw 4 pitches.
Well, you should. I still think you should. I
So-
still think you should there, man.
So I don't know. It's been kind of interesting. I think the USA got eliminated, didn't they? They
Yeah.
still didn't get eliminated.
They have,
They
to,
have to
win
win today.
Okay.
Okay.
Other interesting news.
Yes.
Geno Smith is going to sign a contract with the Giants on Monday.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
Are we becoming the minor leagues for the for the
is that
Giants?
amazing or what?
Guys, are all the Jets going to the Giants?
Yeah, we
We got
become their
Brandon
minor
Marshall
leagues.
went to them last week, right? We had Snacks went to them last year.
Well, now we just wait for Revis to go.
Well, that could happen too. That could happen too.
Why would they take Geno Smith?
Well, he's he's got no guarantee to make the team. He's going to be in a competition for for the backup quarterback.
You know, the Jets, I don't know whether they have a quarterback yet. You know, they're
No, they
talking
don't.
about. I think they should just sign Jay Cutler. Who gives a crap?
I don't
He's
like
only
that
gonna-
guy.
You know,
I don't
even
like
if he
that guy at
provides
all.
us a couple of exciting games, wouldn't that be
Yeah.
better than nothing? Who are you going to sign? What's his name?
Well, they got to sign somebody.
Colin Kaepernick?
No, yeah, well, wow.
I want to know how he gets all that hair under his helmet.
He said he's not going. He said he will not kneel next year. He will stand.
Well, of course not. Who's going to give him a contract if he says he's going to continue to protest?
Yeah.
Guaranteed, right after he signs a contract.
I didn't mean that. We are going to build a great wall.
Yeah.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.
All right, we're going to take a short break on the Glory Day Show, and when we get back, it's time to head to Ohio and talk to Mark Hogan about the Cincinnati Reds as we continue with our month-long 2017 baseball extravaganza. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco only on the Inravio TV network. Coming right back.
Hey, this is Chris West Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Inravio TV network. The Cincinnati Reds have missed the playoffs for 3 consecutive years in the uber-competitive National League Central, as the Cubs, Pirates, and Cardinals have been at the top of the heap for the last few years. They finished last in the Central in 3 consecutive years?
No, just 2.
Just 2, okay. For the first time since 1988 to 90, the Reds have finished 3 consecutive seasons with less than 80 wins. Just how bad were they last year? Well, their pitching staff gave up a major league record 258 home runs, and they walked 636 batters, hitting another 78, both tops in baseball. But on the bright side, they improved from 64 wins in 2015 to 68 wins last season, so they're on an upward trend. Here to talk about why fans should still continue to go to the ballpark is our good buddy, Mark Hogan. Mark, how are you?
Doing great, guys. How are you?
Very good, very good.
All right, man. So you don't want to talk about Ohio State, right? Well, you want to talk about Ohio State in the NCAA, right?
Unfortunately, I don't have much to say.
So I was looking at some of your posts on Facebook there, and there's do you live in Columbus? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I live in Columbus.
Yeah, that's a great town. I saw you were at the Schottenstein Center and at the Nationwide Arena watching the Blue Jackets have a great team, man. They really do.
You know, they are. And I'm actually going to go head out and watch them again on Thursday. So I heard you guys talking earlier, and you know, the Blue Jackets, they've really sort of transformed themselves over the last season. And I think a lot of it, I love Tortorella. I think he's a great coach.
He's an
so.
interesting character for sure.
We always liked him. We always liked him, even when he was on the Rangers.
But, you know, he did lose his mind then when he was out there on the West Coast, right, where he went after a player between periods. Remember that?
Well, he's
kind of his downfall for a little
He's
while.
a fiery guy.
He is. He is.
You know, but I always liked him as a coach because he's a no-nonsense guy. I mean, when the Kaepernick thing came,
Yep.
you know, he was the coach of the USA team, and he says anybody who doesn't want to stand for the national anthem can sit on the bench.
Yeah, that's right. He did say that.
You know, but anyway,
So the Cincinnati Reds.
let's talk about them. Now, they finished 35 and a half games back from the Cubs this year. Well, let's just talk about the Cubs for a second. How surprised were you that they won?
I wasn't very surprised at all because I think that they've put together a great team, and you know, I love their coach. I loved him. You know what he did at Tampa Bay. So they're still going to be the team to beat. And I got to be honest, I don't know that there's any team in baseball that's going to beat them. I think they're going to have another run in the World Series, and I think they're going to win it all again.
What do you think? Are you concerned at all about the that whole thing that it kind of hurt the Red Sox? You know, they waited so long to finally win, and then they won, and they don't know what to do with being a champion because they have no experience in it.
Well, my cousin's a lifelong Cubs fan, so he tells me that they won't have that problem. they're loving every minute of it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have my predictions set yet, but I don't think they win it again this year.
The Cubs?
I don't think they do. I think they have a down year, and I think that let's face it, last year they were one of the few teams that had no real significant type injuries, you know, and that doesn't happen 2 years in a row. You don't stay healthy for two straight years.
They were a pretty deep team too. I mean, he moved guys all around. I mean, that's kind of the new paradigm there, right? It's moving people around. We're not talking too much about the Reds here, though.
All right, so let's get back to that. So, Mark, what do you know about the Reds?
Well, I know that they're sort of in this youth movement, and we talked about this last year, guys. 4 or 5 years ago, I mean, the Cincinnati Reds were a great ball club, and it's sort of, you know, a death by a thousand slices. I mean, they had all this great talent, and just slowly, one by one, you see these guys are leaving. They just lost Brandon Phillips, you know, who was a crowd favorite this year. So what really has hurt them, I think, is they got too mixed up in the Joey Votto deal, and they're regretting that because that's a huge contract. They're sort of stuck with it now, and at this point you just sort of roll with it, and he's the guy that people are coming out to watch because they're slowly maybe improving, but I don't think that it's going to be a very good year for the Reds.
Well, that you don't get anywhere if you can't pitch, okay? They led the league in walks, 600 walks. 600 walks.
It's a lot of walks.
And they hit 78 guys. That's a lot of hit batsmen, But they're pitching.
It's not going to help, Paul. They have Homer Bailey on the 60-day DL, right out the chute starting the season. So, you know who they're going to rely on.
I mean, he made only 6 starts. He was returning from Tommy John surgery last year.
Uh-huh.
He only made 6 starts. Kind of like Zach Wheeler, but Zach Wheeler didn't even get on the mound last year. So now I didn't realize he was on the 60-day DL. Is it the same injury? Is it still the arm?
It's his elbow. Yeah.
Elbow. Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. But they used 52 players last year.
They also lost some. I mean, Jay Bruce played for them, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you what you thought about him, man, because I thought he was a good Red, but he hasn't been a good Met.
I liked him as a Red. I haven't really followed him too much with you guys over there with the Mets.
There wasn't much to follow.
Yeah.
He had 33 home runs, I believe, when they traded for him in August or something.
And went up with a 35.
I think he ran out with 30, maybe 38, something like that. He did finally come around. I mean, everybody talks about how difficult it is to play in New York and stuff. So I guess it got to him. Hopefully now he's a little more comfortable. I kind of felt the same way you were talking about with Joey Votto. They're talking about trading him, they're talking about this, and then they don't.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Bruce this year. They talked about trading him, and then they don't. I don't know how that actually affects a player. But
it's got to be rough because look, these guys all love playing in Cincinnati. I mean, if you ask Joey Votto, Jay Bruce was always a huge fan favorite, and again, when this team was playing really good ball, it was heaven, and everybody was packing in the stands, and that's sort of gone away. And I've got a lot of Reds fans, and it's kind of sad for me to sit here and watch this happen because I've been there. I've been there with my Pirates. So hopefully, they're bringing up some younger talent. I think when Brandon Phillips was traded. That's gonna allow this Peraza kid to come in and play second. I don't look for Zach Cozart to stay there, throughout the year. I think they'll trade him and probably get something for him as well. It's tough to be a Reds fan right now. But Paul, I gotta mention one guy.
Anthony DeSclafani.
Anthony DeSclafani. He's probably going to be one of their better pitchers this year.
Yeah. He. I would get his jersey, but he spells his name with an E. But that's the closest I've ever been.
When I saw that graphic, I said, man, I guess you just cherry-picked that one, right?
Yeah, well, I saw it because I want you to know.
So I want
my
you to
brother's
know, when
name,
we're doing the Mets, I want to see Jay Bruce. Is what I want to see, okay,
Well, my brother's name is Anthony.
Yep.
And the funny thing, Mark, is that DeSclafani's, other than the I, he spells it, he spells it the same way.
Capital S at the
capital S, the L-A instead of the A-L. But you know what his nickname was?
Desco.
No, it was Disco. That was his nickname.
Just like you.
But he made 20 starts for them last year. He was 9-5. He started out, I believe, on the Marlins.
I remember there was a game because I think it was Desclafani against Kohler is what
Kohler,
it was.
That's right. But you know what? They're going to live and die with their pitching. Okay, they used 32 pitchers last year. That's a franchise record.
It's a tough division too, though. I mean, you got the Cubs there. The Cardinals are always in the hunt too.
Right. So they're gonna have to. You have to play the Cardinals, the Pirates, and the Cubs. like 17, 18
Yeah.
times.
Yep.
That's hard to do.
The only positive thing is you got to pay the Milwaukee Brewers that many times too, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what, Mark, like you were saying, this team won 97 games in 2012. They won 97 games, then they won 90 games, and then they fell off the radar.
Yeah.
You know, so they're a rebuilding team. You want to call it that, but they're not one player away. You know, they need to get their youngsters.
Well, I guess
in and playing.
the question is, are they going to finish last or next to last?
I don't know. Mark, what do you think? Last or next to last?
I think they're going to finish last.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Unfortunately,
Guess how many men they left on base last year?
637. I don't know.
They were actually, I should have looked it up, but they were second in the league with the highest number, 1,014 men left on base.
Wow.
That's pretty.
Yeah, that's not hitting in the clutch for
no,
sure.
that is not.
Yep.
You know, and they got rid of a couple of guys who were their home run guys. So now what?
Yep. And I think Joey Cueto was on that team last year too, right?
Who?
Joey Cueto?
I don't know.
Johnny Cueto.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, they lost. Jay Bruce is gone.
Yeah.
Not
Alrighty,
looking
man.
too good for the Reds. That's too bad.
All right, man. Thanks for your help. And
All right, guys.
We will talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good.
All righty. That is our good friend Mark
Hogan
from Ohio. All right, we're going to take another break here on the Glory Day Shows, and when we get back, we'll talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates. Waiting in the wings is Bill Chandler to talk about the Atlanta Braves. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. We're coming right back.
What's up, guys? We're Scano Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Inravio TV network.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Inravio TV network. At the end of the 2015 season, the Pittsburgh Pirates had 98 wins, the second highest in baseball. But they were forced to play a one-game wild card game against the Chicago Cubs as the St. Louis Cardinals won the NL Central that year. Of course, the Pirates lost that game, and then they were eliminated from the postseason. Most baseball fans agree that the NL Central might just be the best division in baseball, But then in 2016 came, and although the Cubs did win their first World Series since 1908, both the Cardinals and the Pirates failed to even qualify for the postseason. As a matter of fact, the Pirates followed up a 98-win season with only 78 wins, finishing 29 games behind the Cubs. So what happened? Most of their pitching staff got injured, their catcher missed more than a month, and no one knows what really happened to center fielder Andrew McCutchen, who had a career-high 143 strikeouts in an injury-riddled type season. Our next correspondent has roots in Pittsburgh and is going to tell us all about their upcoming 2017 season. Please welcome to the program a completely different correspondent than the last guy, even though their names are identical, Mark Hogan. Mark, where are you from?
I'm from the Pittsburgh area. I'm from Steubenville, but I live in Columbus now.
You know, you look a lot like the other guy
that we just talked to.
I just didn't want to make it sound like we're too cheap to pay two different correspondents.
Of course not. Of course not.
I love doing the double duty, guys.
You keep getting that. You know, those residual checks just keep coming in for you.
But the Pirates are your team. You said that when we were talking
about the Pirates fan my whole life. Yes.
Yes.
So what the heck is going on with them? How do you go from 98 wins to 78 wins? Unless you're the Mets.
I wish I do. You know, we had such a great year in 2015, and you know, last year, you know, the train just flew off the tracks. I don't know what happened. I mean, I think you can point to a variety of different things. You mentioned the injuries there, Paul, but you know, you look at Andrew McCutchen, and you know, this guy has been a complete stud. I mean, he had 4 years of really MVP-like numbers, and last year, you know, he just fell off the boat, and I think that sort of had a downward spiral for the team, and they never really ever at any point in the season picked up any traction, and that's tough because you know a lot of us Pirate fans, we thought that that the ship had been righted, and we were excited. So there's still a lot of work to do, and you know, Kutch has to come through. He has to have a much better season, and hopefully we can turn it around. At least, you know, that's what I'm praying for.
I mean, he still hit 24 home runs, but he had that type of a season that Cespedes kind of had, where he had lingering injuries all year. He just couldn't get healthy.
143 strikeouts, so that's
a lot of strikeouts.
Too. Yeah. How's he looking in the spring so far?
Well, he's playing in the baseball classic. He hasn't done great. So, you know, he's going to have to come around and really have a great season again. And you know, there was talk in the off season, you know, if the Pirates were going to keep him, whether they were going to trade him. He's definitely a fan favorite. Everybody loves Kutch. You know, they're going to try something different this year. You know, his glove has not been the best, so they're going to move him out of center field. Starling Marte is going to take over in center, and Greg Polanco is going to slide over to left. So, look, I think Hurdle's trying everything that he can, and you know, we'll see how it goes.
Let's talk about that World Baseball Classic for a second. What do you think of it? Are you a fan?
You know, I'm not a big fan of it. You know, I'm at this time of the year, I'm a spring training guy. You know, I'm focused in on that. You know, whether the guys should be playing in it or not, I don't know. I mean, if they want to go play and they want to play for their country, I think that's a good thing. And you know, they're playing against caliber talent, no doubt. So you don't want to have one of your guys get hurt in that thing, you know.
What about possibly playing it after the World Series is over? Do you think it's too late? Do you think the players are just shot by the time you get to there, or?
You know, a lot of those guys, you know, some guys go and they play the fall ball anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
I would prefer it being after. You know, I love as much baseball as possible. So, you know, yeah, I'd love to be watching some baseball in November.
You know, because that we were talking about it last week, and we were trying to figure out if they were going to do this, where would be the best place to slot it? And no matter where you put it, it's all about the pitching. You know, like Yesterday, the pitcher, I can't think of the guy's name. The guy for the United States team.
Stroman, he's a local guy from,
right,
from
but there
Patchogue.
was a guy who they said that they don't want them pitching more than 65 pitches, but he didn't want to pitch more than 4 innings, and they wound up taking him out. They lose the game. I don't know where you do that because the pitchers are the issue here. It's not the guys who are getting up and hitting the ball and stuff. I mean, granted, you take the risk of somebody pulling a hamstring or getting hurt or anything like that. But I think the issue is with the pitchers. So if you do it during the middle of the season, like during the All-Star break or something like that, you run into the same thing. You know, there's so many pitches in
well, and
that
if you do it during the All-Star break, it's going to be more than 3 days, right? It's going to be like over a couple of weeks or something,
Yeah, you
right?
would have to do it over a
so
couple
what?
of
So
weeks.
the World Series winds up being what? In the middle of November now or the end of November? You can't do that.
Yeah, so I don't know where's a good time to do it.
You know what you start doing? You start playing double headers on Sundays. Is what you start doing. Bring that season back in, man.
All right, but we regress. Let's
Yes.
go back to the Pirates.
Pirates.
Okay, so this year they lost Jeff Locke, Neftali Feliz, Ivan Nova as free agents. They traded Francisco Liriano of the Blue Jays, and they traded their closer, Mark Melanson. How do you pronounce it? Melanson to Washington. And their bullpen didn't really have a bad year. They finished 4th in ERA. But I don't know where that leaves them this year.
You know where it leaves them? I think
Where?
81 and 81, a 500 team.
You think so, Mark? Would you be happy with 81 and 81?
No, but I'm sort of there with Bruce. I mean, I think we're going to be hovering right around there, you know. And if we can get maybe 84, 85 wins, I don't know if that'll be good enough to solidify a wild card. I don't think that it will. This is a tough division, guys. I still think it's the toughest division. And, I think that's pretty accurate prediction there. I don't know that we've done enough, as far as, getting new talent in. And there's a lot of question marks, coming off of last season. So I'm always hopeful, hope springs eternal with me with my Pirates, but I got to be a realistic man. And, I think, they have the potential to do better, but I think they're going to be hovering around the 500 mark.
Does that make it that much easier for the Cubs to win?
I think the Cubs still got to deal with the Cards, who are a pretty legitimate, talented team still. But yeah, I mean, I think at this point, when you analyze both teams, the Cubs are a much better team than the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's just a fact. So we'll try, when we play them to knock them off. But that's why they play the games.
That's right.
Well, they moved Tony Watson into the closer role, okay? But this guy was like their Addison Reed guy, their setup
Bridge guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know who takes over that role, because that apparently is a big role. But you know what? I don't know what's going to happen in baseball this year. With what happened in the World Series last year, where the closer they weren't necessarily holding on to the closer till the 9th inning anymore. I think baseball relief pitching is going to change a lot this year.
You think so?
I think so. And I think
Is that a disco prediction?
That's it. I'm going to go online. I'm going to go on saying that.
Go out on the limb.
No pitcher gets 50 saves this year.
No pitcher.
No pitcher gets 50 saves this year. Take that to the bank, because if you'll remember last year, I predicted that Bartolo Colon was going to hit a home run.
You did not.
I did so. I did.
Yeah, after he hit one, right?
No. I did it during because they said he was hitting them in batting practice during spring training.
Yeah.
And on our baseball extravaganza, our last show, our Met and Yankees show, we had Mike Ferrara, we had the Admiral.
Yep.
And and I said Bartolo Colon's going to hit a home run this year. I have to go pull that tape. So, Mark, what do you think? What's your official prediction for them?
I think they're going to hit 83 wins and I think we'll probably just be shut out of a run for the playoffs again. And then I think the management and everyone's going to have to come together and just figure out what direction is this franchise going. That's what my head tells me. But again, my heart says I'll be rooting like heck. And I'd love to get back to the time when we won 98 back in 2015. I don't think that this team is that far removed from it. But it's almost like what happened with the Reds when we were talking earlier. It's just these sudden drop-offs happen, and then the next thing you're dealing with 3 or 4 years of losing seasons, and I don't want to see that happen.
Well, they got 2 in a row now. I mean, 1 in a row. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they could pull out of this. You know what it is? I just don't know what happens to the teams, and I guess it happened to the Reds. I mean, like we said before, the Reds had 97 wins in 2012. Then they had 90 wins the next year, and then they fell off the cliff.
Yeah. This
is kind of like falling off the cliff. You don't go from 98 wins to 78 wins without something catastrophic to pin it on.
Well, like you say, McCutcheon didn't have a good year last year. So hopefully he does well, and hopefully the Pirates are better than an 81 team. Maybe 83 and 79, it's not that much better, but probably third in the division, most likely.
And we highly recommend that if you get a chance to see Billy Joel, you go see him.
I've been trying so hard. He's playing everywhere else. Of course, you guys have the Liberty. He plays the Garden,
I'm going to see him April 14th.
Oh, you're going in April to see him?
Yep, April 14th, yeah. And I haven't seen him in a long time, but I've seen him probably about 10 or 12 times probably in my life,
Yeah, I remember seeing him at the Coliseum.
Yep.
We saw him at the Garden, me and you, I think. We
Sure.
sat on the side of the stage. That was a pretty good show. But I really would like to see him on this Garden thing. It's been over a year now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, one of the best shows I ever saw was Elton John and Billy Joel together at
Where'd you see him?
Giant Stadium. Ooh. It's fantastic. So yeah, we're lucky to live in New York and we have Bruce Springsteen in Jersey and we have Billy Joel in Long Island. It's great stuff.
All righty, Mark.
Good talking to
go.
you.
And you promise you promise you're not coming back to talk about the Atlanta Braves?
Okay.
No, but I'll come back and talk some Penguins here in a month
Oh
or two if
yeah,
you'll have
okay.
me.
Okay, man. And listen, go easy on us next week because the Islanders need a break here.
I got you.
So even though you live in Columbus, you're a
Steelers,
Penguins fan.
Penguins.
Okay.
He's a Pittsburgh.
He's a Pittsburghan. Okay.
All righty, man. All right, thanks again, Mark.
Let's take another
Bye,
break
guys.
here on the Glory Day Show. When we get back, we'll go down south and talk to Bill Chandler about the Atlanta Braves. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. We're coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Mark Welly. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you're a punch in the But if you have this bracelet from Inravio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
the ball.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Inravio TV network. From 1991 to 2001, the Atlanta Braves played in the National League Championship Series 9 out of 10 times, but they have not won a postseason series in the last 15 years. In 2016, they won just 68 games and finished in last place for the first time since 1990. Coincidentally, the year before they began their historic NL Championship Series run. After the starting season with 9-28, the Braves fired their manager, Freddie Gonzalez. It was the first time in 25 years the Braves had fired a manager. What's that?
I was surprised. It goes 25 years without firing a manager.
That is pretty unique.
That's pretty good.
Over the past few years, they have shed a lot of underachieving players and transformed their minor league system from the worst in baseball to one of the best. This year, they're opening their second new ballpark in the last 20 years, and they have 2 ex-Met starting pitchers who are combined 85 years old, R.A. Dickey and Bartolo Colon. Whatever you do, please don't mention Alabama or the Falcons to our next guest. So here to talk about what is going on in Atlanta, and the only one to talk about it is our good friend, Bill Chandler. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not
Mark Hogan.
Not Hogan. It is Bill Chandler. Okay.
Are you sure you're not Mark Hogan?
Yes, this is Mark Hogan. I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Good morning, guys. How are you?
All right, man.
Good.
How are you?
Wonderful.
Now, you're not on a golf course or anything. Sometimes you call us, you're on a golf course, don't you? Where are you today?
Not today. Not today. It rained pretty much last night. That's the only reason I'm not there.
I see. Okay.
So you're, I know you don't want to talk about Alabama, and you don't want to talk about the, you don't want to talk, especially you don't want to talk about the Falcons.
Falcons, yeah.
But it must have tore your heart out.
I feel like they got bought off. I mean, come on. I mean, all they had to do, they were in field goal range. All they had to do is kick the freaking field goal, and they put the game out of reach. And instead, they take a sack. I mean, this Lion takes a sack, and then a holding penalty, and boom, you end up losing the game. It was more than heartbreaking for a Falcons fan.
Well, you know how much I hate the New England Patriots. And of course, I was really gloating because on the Super Bowl show, I predicted that the Atlanta Falcons were going to win big. And
right.
It looked that way for a while.
It looked like you were right.
I was really kind of already preparing my gloating speech. And then I just saw it just started to happen. And I texted my son James because I don't know what I've disowned him, but he became a New England fan. And I texted him and I said, you know what? I've seen this movie. I know how it ends. But then when they got to overtime, I said, well, if the Falcons could come back and win, at least I would feel better. But Bill, I have to say, I looked at my numbers on the Super Bowl sheet and saw that if New England scored a touchdown, my wife would win $450.
Oh, my gosh.
And guess what happened?
So I was rooting for Tom Brady to get that touchdown at the end.
And no extra point either.
And when we went on vacation to Florida, we spent all that money on margaritas.
Oh, wow. Well, money well spent then.
All right, anyway. So
at least the thing is, with my Sacred Tide and the Falcons, we had a really good run, and it was a lot of fun. I don't think the Braves are going to give us that much fun this year. As I think you mentioned, they lost 93 games last year, and it was interesting. I did hear your gentleman speak about Cincinnati. We would have tied Cincinnati for the worst record in baseball, except that we had one game rained out. So we only lost 93 games.
That sounds like an asterisk to me, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, so it wasn't good. And the other thing is you said they had a franchise record 32 pitchers. The Braves used 35 pitchers last year.
Wow.
They had 16 starting pitchers. That was I think that was the most in Major League Baseball, and they had a combined 4.51 ERA. But if you take out the 3 starters that were their mainstays, the other 13 starters combined for a 5.73. So that's why you bring in these two guys who are almost as old as I am.
R.A. Dickey and
That
Bartolo Colon.
really
Wow.
shocked me. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, does Colon and Dickey have anything left in their arms at all? I mean, the Braves are counting on them to come in and help shore up their starting pitching staff.
R.A. Dickey had some trouble in Toronto. But Colon, man, he's the real deal. That guy could pitch forever. You know, we marveled at him every time. But you know why? Because Bartolo Colon always seemed like he was having fun.
Yep.
No
And he
matter
always
what
kept it
was
loose.
going on,
Yep.
he was having fun. You know, when he hit that home run in San Diego, that was the greatest thing I ever saw in baseball. When he hit that home run.
Because you predicted it.
Well, because I predicted it, yeah. But
At least he said he did.
You know, but you know what? They don't have if Colon and R.A. Dickey are you know, in their top 3 of starters, it's not like they're holding back anybody yet. They've got a bunch of guys, but they're just not quite ready yet.
No, you're right. And they did trade for somebody from the Cardinals, Garcia.
Yes,
so
Jamie
they got
Garcia.
another starter up there, and Tehran has been a really decent starter for the Braves for a while, and I expect him to have another decent year. And the thing is, their pitching isn't great, but their pitching, I think, will be decent, and the bullpen is really maybe a little bit better than decent. But if we can get a home run from Colon, that may be one of the few we get. Our offense just hasn't been good. You know, as we talked about how many pitchers we used, well, they were last in Major League Baseball in home runs last year, second to last in runs scored, 24th in slugging percentage, and Freddie Freeman was the only player with a significant amount of batters that got over 300.
You know what the problem was? You guys you hit 122 home runs. The problem was apparently you didn't play the Cincinnati Reds enough last year.
That's probably right. well, there is that. Because this year, you know, like you mentioned, we move into a new stadium, and I don't think that's going to win us any games. But you know, people will probably they'll still have attendance up this year.
Well, you got any tickets for any games yet, Bill? You going there?
I do not. I'm definitely going. I'm definitely going to go, but I'm going to wait till the early season hype. And I think that after the Braves look so bad, you know, there'll be good seats available a little bit later in the season.
So they picked up. They have 2 ex-Met pitchers, but they got rid of the ex-Met pitching coach, Roger McDowell.
I was going to ask about that. That's exactly where I was going.
Roger McDowell's been there for 11 years.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. And before it was that guy Mazzoni, right? The guy
Leo
who used to
Mazzone, the
rock
rocker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I don't, you know, again, you can't blame McDowell for their problems. And the front office has traded away almost all their good talent. I keep reading, and I don't know how you quantify this, but I keep reading that the Braves have one of the best stocked minor league systems in all of baseball, that they have some wonderful players coming up.
They were talking. They said they're ranked in like the top 3 minor league systems in baseball right now. They went from being the worst minor league system to the best minor league system. You guys have a shortstop that came up last year, Dansby Swanson. He was the #1 pick, but he was the #1 pick in 2015.
Yeah, they said he could be the rookie of the year.
Right.
Everyone keeps saying, he's supposed to be. They already have him kind of preseason favorite for the rookie of the year this year.
Right. Well, he only played. Apparently, he only played 38 games, so he can. He's eligible to be rookie of the year this year.
That's right.
I'm looking at this coaching staff here. There's a couple of surprises here.
Is they kind of stopped the turnstile. You know, the last 2 years has been fruit basket turnover with the team. This year they've added a few people, but there's still some decent people there. The problem is we don't have, you know, like you have Freddie Freeman. Well, Freddie Freeman is not your, you know, the wonderful player that you can build a team around. He's a good, you know, steady journeyman. And if you had 3 or 4 Freddie Freemans and then a really good player, you might have a good team. But unfortunately, Freddie Freeman is one of the best on the team. And that being said, it doesn't look good for us this year.
He had a career high 34 home runs last year. And you know what?
The thing I remember about him is he started out terribly.
Yeah.
So he really got hot, man. He must have had some second half.
Well, you know what? The Braves themselves, Bill, I don't know if you know this, but they won 20 out of their last 30 games. They went 20-10 in their last 30 games.
They had the best September in all of baseball.
Yeah. I'm taking a look at this coaching staff here. There's some interesting people on here. Terry Pendleton.
Terry Pendleton's a coach?
Yep. That's what it says. Bench coach.
He's
Ron Washington, third base
he's their hitting
coach.
instructor, right? Their batting coach.
Ron Washington, isn't he the cocaine guy?
Yeah, exactly. And
so you know you'll have energy in your third base coach.
And, special assistant to pitching.
That's great.
Dave Wallace, ex-Met.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is an interesting. Brian Snitker, the manager. I don't know who that guy is.
Well, he's the guy who took over for Freddie Gonzalez.
Okay, so he was the interim. That's now a
and they
permanent.
made him a permanent.
Okay.
So I don't know, Bill. I don't think they're going to do terrible this year. They just don't know how to. They just don't know how to be terrible for a long period of time.
Okay. Well, you forget I've been a Braves fan for a long, long time, and I remember the 60s and 70s and I've been in the 80s. Yeah, they can go for a while being bad, but I was hoping those days were over. We'll see.
By the way, you were involved in 3 of the worst upsets in 2016. Okay, you had Alabama. Well, I mean, even though that was in 2017.
This is why you say goodbye, just rub it in a little bit. Huh,
the last three major things were all upsets that you were on the wrong side of. You had Alabama, you had the Falcons, and then you had Hillary Clinton.
That's exactly right.
All righty, Bill, we got to go. We're getting the cut sign here.
All right, listen, it's always a pleasure talking to you. You guys do a great job. Thanks so much.
All right, Bill, thanks.
You do a great job, too. Thanks.
All righty, and we are out of time, right? Are we out of time?
We're
out of time.
Up.
All right, thanks to our producers, Anthony Mazzallo and the hero, Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work and making us look so good out here. Thanks to Mark Hogan, Bill Chandler, and that other Mark Hogan for helping us out today on the Baseball Extravaganza. Next time, we're going to have 3 more reports. Milwaukee, Houston, and the home of the world champions, Chicago Cubs. Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week and allowing us to bring you this type of quality programming. And, of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget, you can check out the Glory Days On Demand page at www.inravio.com, and you can watch any of our past shows or any of the other great shows on the Inravio TV network. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you next time.